Hi, my name is Bogdan Davydov. I'm a BIM specialist at 3D Repo. I have an architectural background, but I was heavily involved with building information management, worked on projects like Battersea Phase 2 and Wembley Master Plan. So I kind of witnessed the weaknesses and I saw what the problems are. And here I am to unveil our new top secret feature, which is not so secret anymore. It's actually smart groups, but for some of you who don't know what 3D Repo is, I'm just going to give you a quick basic and really quick introduction for you to understand what we do as a platform. So we are a cloud-based collaboration platform where we do on-demand data access and virtual design coordination. And why we do that? Well, the simple three answers I'm going to give you is because the BIM software is complex. How many of you have struggled to do something or spent too long learning how to do it? And that causes delays, and I found myself that caused delays in my project delivery as well. Another thing would be the interoperability. It's challenging. You know, you have subcontractors, you have engineers, you have architects, all bringing different data of different file formats. Sometimes you can't see it, sometimes you can't visualize it, and it is a bit struggling, if to be honest with you, to understand what it is, where it is, and how it is. And the other fact is, BIM files can be large. You know, there have been times when I was working projects and I had to spend maybe 10 minutes waiting for a file to open to query something that somebody made a change on or something like that. And I just thought, wow, I could have done that in a minute. If I could do that, I would have done 10 tasks simultaneously. So what we want to do is to remove the barriers to collaboration to help create a better built environment. And that leads on to our user types. Because we want to democratize the process and give everybody access, that gives us, our clients, to be consultants, contractors, owners, so everybody can stamp in at any project delivery stage and be able to use the platform, see where the data came from, what the data is, and see where it needs to be next. So moving on to the platform itself, what we do is we offer BIM collaboration where you can raise issues, you can mitigate on health and safety issues, you can also do instant clashing or 3D diffing. So it brings all the different stakeholders into one place to start working together rather than emailing back and forwards and trying to figure out, oh, how can I see your project or how can you see my project? On top of that, because we store information in data files rather than actual models, you can query loads of information through our APIs and do your further forensics and analytics if you want to. And if you want to, we can provide you with dynamic VR applications as well for desktop if you want to build something else on top of that, which is a custom. So moving on to smart groups, after a quick presentation about who we are, I'm here to unveil our next feature, which we're really excited about, and we really want to develop even further because this is something that I've seen myself, people struggle with, and we really want to break the barriers and make it as easy as possible. So current data checking. Yeah, there are lots of really cool platforms out there. Many of them do really cool things, and you can check for a lot of stuff. But the main problem I found myself, it's difficult at times, you know? It could be overwhelming in terms of like, what fields should I select, and there are too many to choose from, or okay, well, I have to just use this really old-fashioned thing where I have to scroll up and down, it's a bit time-wasting. Or you could really be, you know, almost like a chef and create these spaghetti nodes, you know, and be super creative in that sense, but it could overwhelm you as well. And the other is because you're actually limiting yourself and detaching from the team, spending too much time on doing those things, and not everybody knows what's going on and what everybody is doing and what you actually are doing, because when they look at that, they will say, oh, I don't know, just carry on. But they don't know what you're doing, whether it's good or bad. So I want to seize any confusion. This is the face I used to pull, and I used to see 99% of the design meeting room do, is think, oh, we have these EIRs, we have to deliver this, BIM level 2, BIM level 3, what are we doing? How are we going to do that? Like, and you suddenly start thinking, oh, I should have done computer science degree because I'm going to start programming or something like that. And that really takes your time for project delivery away, and you start working on something that is not meant to be there in the first place, what you are employed for. So what we want to do is we want to make everybody work as a team, because when you work as a team and contribute a little bit at a time, but together simultaneously, you can do tasks really quick, in and out. So the project doesn't get delayed and you can deliver what you expected or you want to. So what is a smart group? The smart group allows you to do a better model visualization, so you can see what the data comes in, where it comes from, and who is doing it, who is delivering it. Also, it allows you to validate the data as well, so you can actually see whether the quality of the data is good or getting there, and that would lead you to progress tracking. So you would actually know how far up the project line, down the project line they have done, and are they on time, are they doing what we want to do. So what we want to do is we want to create this seamless loop that is synchronized together, and you don't have to go away, step away from that process and ask somebody who knows how to do specific task to say, oh, okay, can you do this for us? Okay, and leave them alone to work. We want to work together as a team, and we can all do the same task, and everybody can see what everyone's doing. So yeah, these are the smart groups in use. Basically what we do, for instance, somebody grouped the project elements based on their parameter values or where it all comes from. And let's say I am an engineer, or well, I'm an architect or a client or somebody. I step in and I say, okay, I want to look at the doors. I see that there's a group already done for doors interior level E. Oh, okay, excellent, cool. It could have been me who created it, or it could have been somebody else. And let's say I don't want to spend time asking somebody, can you do this, because I have no idea how to do it. I want to say, okay, cool, well, I'll take that rule because it already works for me. It isolates the model elements that I have there, which is level E, and it's an IFC door type. I want to copy those rule sets and actually apply it onto something else that I want to do for this specific task. Instead of wasting time to recreating it all again, I can simply go, okay, now I want to create my new smart group where I can validate some piece of information. For instance, in this case, it would be doors, interior, acoustic, rating. Cool. So I want to check, let's say at this stage of the delivery, I asked them to provide an acoustic rating for level E. So what I do is I say, I want to do a smart group. I fill out the name and information, description, which would make it more obviously easier for me to find the information. I can paste the filters because somebody has done something similar and it's there, and I don't waste time doing it again. And then I say, okay, so what do I want to do? I want to find acoustic rating. I type through the field. It already finds me what is available for those elements. I don't have to waste time looking for it. I say, I want to find elements that do not have, for instance, fire rating. So what I will achieve in here is pretty much in a space of about a minute, I can validate whether for level E, whoever it would be, interior architects or main architects, how much work they've done, how much work they haven't done. So in the end, this is accessible for everybody else. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to share it. So you're not limited, you're not there on your own working from a desktop or some remote desktop application that nobody has an access to and try to figure out and validate information. It means that everybody, let it be subcontractor or main contractor, they can come in and share in the same place at the same time. Not do double handling where subcontractor said, oh yeah, I validated it, and then you as a main contractor then say, okay, let's double check because I don't know, do they know what they're doing or not? Because that complicated software is a bit time consuming. And then you can just navigate through the model and validate information as such. So what are the advantages of the smart groups? Well, main is it's in the web browser, it's on 3D Repo platform, so you don't have to download anything, you don't have to install anything. Problems I had before is when I asked to other team members to start working on something similar so we can speed up the process. We wait for a month or two for people to install softwares and understand how to use them. And another really cool feature that I like is it's auto-updating with new model revisions. So once you set your rules, it's there, you don't have to recreate it, you don't have to refresh it or anything. It automatically queries your database. So every time you have a new model revision, you can go back, you can check your smart groups, how many objects, whether they're valid or not, and whether the data comes in is correct or not. The next cool thing that I think is, it's obviously democratizing the process. It's available for everyone. So if you go to Federation and you're somebody who doesn't know how to do it or wants to have a look, a client or lead architect or project lead who doesn't know how to use Calibri but wants to see where your team members are, you simply open the browser, you log in, and you can see what your teams have created, how much information is coming in, and whether that information is correct or not. And another thing is it's obviously a quick and easy way to group or validate model objects, so you don't have to go and study computer science to create some sort of plugin to do the task that you need. You can just get on with the task and deliver your project information to whatever EIR specification that have been put out in the first place. Because we're database and we are web-based, you can link this information to anything else you want to. So you can pull live data, like in this screenshot I grabbed of dashboard that I created literally in like less than a minute for my smart groups, where I can validate data through Power BI or Tableau or whatever you want. So you can even use Dynamo or Grasshopper to query all the information, bring the metadata attached to object elements, see how many of the objects there are, and then, for instance, if it's a client who doesn't want to even visualize it, they can actually go and check the graph and understand, okay, cool, the team is delivering what they want or what they expected to. Cool, let's just proceed with that. So, the future of smart groups. There's the start, there were the groups, really cool, nice way to group everything. The next thing we wanted to do is introduce smart groups where you can do it even easier and share it with everybody else. And what is the future? The future is we want to even go a step further. We want to automate that project. We want to automate model checking and data validation. So, for instance, you have specific EIR that was written in the beginning of the project. You can simply put that together in one document. Everybody agreed to that. You can upload it onto 3D Repo, and then all the groups are set up for you right there in one place, and everybody can just keep checking. We want to introduce that across the projects as well. If you, for instance, have 3 or 4 projects in there, you don't have to go to each one, know what it is, where it is. You can roll out your rules as a practice, and you don't have to store a file that you need to share and then give to somebody. Oh, have you downloaded it? Have you seen it? No, it's all right there. It's created. You can download it. You can import it yourself. Simple as that. So the final result is, this is what I want you to be like. I want you to say, great, that's much better ending to the meeting than I expected at first. I don't need no computer science degree, and I think we can deliver this much quicker than I expected in first place. So just to drop another few key points, we'll be releasing a version 3.4 in the next week, which will include the smart groups for data checking and validation. We'll also do a beta version for native Revit support. You can upload the Revit files directly on our website. We will introduce user-generated API keys to make it even easier for you to integrate platforms without extra authentications and things like that. We want to do additional rendering options where you can do your architectural white render or introduce, for instance, specific shadows or present it much nicer to a client. Update for safety base, that's what we have as well. And just don't forget to sign up at 3drepo.com. It's free for you to test it out, so have a go. We really value your feedback. If you can send it back to us, we want to make it as user-friendly for you as possible. And yeah, thank you very much.